Well, good morning, babies. This is books for babies and their moms. I hope you're ready to settle down and enjoy some nursery rhymes and then some short stories. I'm Miss Nancy, and I'm coming to you from the Upper Chichester Library in Upper Chichester, Pennsylvania. So I chose some nursery rhymes from this Walt Disney Mother Goose book. I've done some other ones from this particular book, and I thought I would do Simple Simon today. It's kind of a funny one. You can see those are the Walt Disney characters that I'm sure the moms are familiar with, even if the babies aren't. Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Says Simple Simon to the pieman, "Let me taste your ware." Says the pieman to Simple Simon, "Show me first your penny." Says Simple Simon to the pieman, "Indeed, I have not any." He went to catch a dicky bird and thought he could not fail, because he put a little salt to put upon his tail. Simple Simon went a fishing for to catch a whale. All the water he had got was in his mother's pail. He went for water in a sieve, but soon it all ran through, and now poor Simple Simon bids you just adieu. Now here's another one that I remember from my childhood called Old King Cole. Old King Cole was a merry old soul. A merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. Then we have Humpty Dumpty. Looks like we have Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck over here. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. And that is the end of the nursery rhymes that we're going to read today. I'm going to get started with another Thomas story. I think I've read Thomas to you before. This is all about Thomas and friends. It's a little steam engine, a little blue steam engine, all about Thomas. I know that my very young grandson really loves these stories. Now this one is called Thomas and the Big Bridge. Here we have Thomas and some of his friends. It was a special day for the railway. "We are here to launch the new rail line through the mountains of Sodor," Sir Topham Hatt announced. "Today we will open the big, big bridge." What wonderful news! Everyone cheered. The mountains were beautiful. The people of Sodor couldn't wait to visit them. And here's the big, big bridge. You can see. Everyone wanted to see the big, big bridge. It had towers so high the tops touched the sky. And the valley beneath was so deep that when you were on the big, big bridge, you could hardly see the ground. Thomas was excited about the new rail line. "This really is a special day," he said happily. Then Henry chugged up to Thomas. The big engine frowned. Oh, that does look like quite a frown on his face, doesn't it? This is Henry. This is Thomas, and this is Henry. "I don't want to go to the mountains," Henry said nervously. "It's windy up there, very, very windy." Henry didn't like the wind. Henry didn't like rain or snow or hail either. "You're a big engine, Henry," Thomas said. "You shouldn't be afraid of a little wind." But, excuse me, but Henry was afraid, and that made Thomas a little bit afraid too. "Gordon, Henry, Thomas, hitch up your coaches," called Sir Topham Hatt. "It's time for your first trip to the mountains." Percy and James were glad they didn't have to go to the mountains. They were afraid to cross the big, big bridge, too. Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of, Thomas insisted, in a voice loud enough for Percy and James to hear. It will be easy to cross that big bridge. Thomas and Henry chugged to the platform. Gordon, the express engine, was already there. His coaches were full of passengers. Annie and Clarabelle were soon hitched behind Thomas. Hurry, hurry, they called. All aboard, cried the conductor. Sir Topham Hatt turned to the crowd and waved his hat one last time. Toot, toot, Gordon whistled. Follow me. In a burst of steam, the blue engine was off. Oh, look at this picture. We have all kinds of things happening here. People's houses, and there's a small bridge over there and several different trains. Soon the trains were rolling through the countryside in a long line. Gordon took the lead. Behind him chugged Henry. Then, because he was the smallest, came Thomas. All along the way, people came out of their houses and cheered when they saw the trains go by. At the foot of the mountain, Henry slowed to a crawl. These mountains are much too high, he moaned. I can't go. I'm afraid of heights. Oh, don't be silly, said Thomas bravely. I'll be right here behind you. But Henry didn't budge. He was very nervous, and that made Thomas nervous too. You know, sometimes when we have to experience something brand new, it can make us nervous. And going to this big bridge is brand new for these trains. Come on, Thomas, gently pushed Henry. We have to go. The brand new tracks were smooth and shiny, but Henry barely moved along them. The truth was, Henry didn't want to reach the top of the mountain, because then he'd have to cross the big bridge. If Percy and James and Henry are all afraid, thought Thomas, maybe I should be frightened too. The tracks grew steep as Thomas and Henry puffed up the mountain. They could hardly keep up with Gordon. The big blue engine rushed ahead. See, there goes Gordon. Gordon was a strong engine. The steep tracks didn't tire him at all. Wait for us, Henry called, but Gordon climbed higher and higher until he was out of sight. I don't think I can make it, Henry groaned, his steam giving out at last. This mountain is just too steep. Keep going, Thomas urged him. We can't let a little mountain stop us. But Thomas was having trouble chugging up that steep mountain. And he was beginning to worry about crossing the big bridge. Oh, and here comes the big bridge. Finally, Thomas and Henry arrived at the top of the mountain. There it was, the big bridge, and it was high. It was windy up there, too, very, very windy. I won't go, Henry declared. But we have to cross, Thomas said bravely. Our passengers want to see the mountain on the other side. Hurry, hurry, Anna and Clarabelle cried. The coaches were so excited that Thomas had trouble keeping them in line. Thomas searched the tracks ahead. Gordon was nowhere to be seen. He had already crossed the bridge and rolled into the mountains beyond. Thomas and Henry were alone. I'll go first, Thomas said at last. Then you can follow me, Henry. If the wind blows, close your eyes, Henry said. That way you won't see anything scary. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Thomas began to cross the bridge. Thomas looked up. He could see cottony clouds touching the top of the bridge. Nervously, he looked down, but the bridge was so high he couldn't even see the ground. A sudden gust of wind shook the bridge. This scared Thomas, and he closed his eyes so tightly he couldn't see where he was going. Click, clack, click, clack, click, crash! Thomas came to a sudden stop. He opened one eye for a quick peek. See, he's just opened one eye here. Oh no, he cried. His wheels were off the track. Uh-oh. "Are you all right, Thomas?" called Henry. "I'm stuck," Thomas said glumly. I couldn't see where I was going, and my front wheels have jumped the track." Just then Gordon returned. He frowned when he saw Thomas stuck in the middle of the bridge. See, here's Gordon, and here's Thomas. "Go find Harold," Gordon called to Henry. Relieved, Henry backed down the mountain to find the helicopter. Thomas kept his eyes closed. He was too afraid to look. But inside his coaches, the passengers enjoyed the wonderful view from the big, big bridge. Finally, Thomas heard the whirl of rotors. Harold was coming to rescue him. Slowly, Thomas opened his eyes. He looked at the blue sky above the green mountains all around. Well, by the way, here comes the helicopter. "What a lovely view!" he exclaimed. "I was silly to shut my eyes. I almost missed everything." "Hitch the rope to your buffer and hold on," Harold cried. In no time at all, Harold had lifted Thomas back onto the tracks. Thomas backed up to where Henry waited. "Come on, Henry," said Thomas. "The view is spectacular, and I should never have been afraid." With that, Thomas turned and chugged happily across the big, big bridge. Henry watched in wonder. "If he's not afraid, maybe I shouldn't be either," Henry decided. Slowly, the big green engine made his way across the bridge, too. See? Here he comes. There's Henry. Thomas and Henry, and that's Harold, the helicopter. Soon, Thomas and Henry arrived at the station house. The mountain was really lovely. Everyone was happy to have seen it, but Thomas was the happiest one of all. He was proud that he had crossed the big, big bridge. He tried something new, found out he could do it and not be afraid of it, and enjoy it as well. So that is the end of that particular story. I have one more story here for you. It's called "It's Not Easy Being a Bunny," and it's by Marilyn Sadler and illustrated by Roger Bolin. Again, I like the illustrations. I thought you would enjoy them. Here we are. P.J. Bunny was very sad. He did not like being a bunny. His mother made him eat cooked carrots all day. He had far too many brothers and sisters, and his ears were very, very big. One day, P.J. decided to leave home. "I don't want to be a bunny anymore," said P.J. "I want to be a bear." See the bears in the tree? And P.J. went to live with the bears. And it looks like they accepted him as a friend. But when the bears went to sleep for the winter, P.J. could not sleep at all. Living with the bears was not very exciting. Bears sleep all winter long, you know. So P.J. said, "I don't want to be a bear. I want to be a bird." But P.J. went to live with the birds. You see, there are the birds. They all look like they'd like to have him come live with them. P.J. liked being a bird until he tried to fly. So P.J. said, "I don't want to be a bear or a bird. I want to be a beaver." Okay, so the beavers look very friendly, and P.J. went to live with the beavers. Here are all the beavers. The beavers liked to work very hard. P.J. did not like to work at all. So P.J. said, "I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver. I want to be a pig." Oh, look at those nice pink pigs. And P.J. went to live with the pigs. But the only thing the pigs liked to do was sit in the mud. That would be very messy. And I don't think that P.J. liked that. So he said, "I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig. I want to be a moose." And P.J. went to live with the moose. See, the moose has great big antlers, and there's PJ. But PJ could not make good moose calls. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig or a moose. I want to be a possum. Okay, there's a possum with his curly pink tail. They like to live in trees. And PJ went to live with the possums. The possums like to hang upside down, but hanging upside down gave PJ a headache. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig or a moose or a possum. I want to be a skunk. Oh, he's in for a surprise wanting to be a skunk, isn't he? And PJ went to live with the skunks. It did not take PJ very long to find out that he did not like living with the skunks because they let out a really bad smell. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig or a moose or a possum or, most of all, a skunk. What I really want to be is a bunny. So PJ hurried home. The funny bunnies were very happy to see him. PJ was very happy to see them too. That night, PJ ate all of his cooked carrots and played with every one of his brothers and sisters. He was so happy to be a bunny again that he did not care that his ears were very big, and he does have very big ears. At least everyone can see that I am a bunny, PJ said, and not a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig or a moose or a possum or a skunk. It's always best to be who you are at all times, even though sometimes we might like to try to be someone or something else. Well, that's the end of story time for today, and I just have a couple of announcements I want to make, just to remind you about the library book sale that we're having. The book sale will be at the Upper Chichester Township Municipal Building at 8500 Fury Road. It will be Wednesday, September the 8th. There's a preview sale from 10 a.m. It's from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And there is a $20 early access fee for the preview sale. Then after that, you can come in after 10 o'clock, and on Wednesday, the Thursday, and Friday, the sale will be from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening, and there's no entrance fee. The regular sale is free for all to come. Saturday, September the 11th, the sale is from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. There's going to be a special event on September the 10th. It is the anniversary of the Upper Chichester Library. We've been functioning now for 20 years, so it's our 20th anniversary. There will be live entertainment with Mr. Andrew Beringer, and again, it's going to be at the Upper Chichester Township Municipal Building on Fury Road, and it will be at 5 o'clock, September the 10th, which will also coincide with our book sale as well. And there are going to be food trucks, and the Delco Cruisers, which are automobiles, I think some of them are antique automobiles, will also be there for people to look at. So I hope you'll come out, buy some books, and especially enjoy our 20th anniversary at Fury Road on Friday night, September the 10th. Goodbye for now, and see you next week.